Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us. How are you feeling? How are you doing? Feeling. So
Good to be feeling.
I know. We're glad to be back and we're glad you're joining us. And we want to jump right into a topic that we saw on the Steve Harvey Show. Well, it was, it's the part where they ask questions of him and he gives advice. Yeah. And this woman got up and she was a tall woman, 6 foot or 6'3". Yeah. And she was asking a question of him, and we'll try to show you a clip of that as part of this show. If not, we'll put the link where you can see it. So either way. And she asked a question of him about how she responded to people asking her about her height. And her response would be like, if they'd ask how, you're really tall, she's like, well, you're really short. And she mentioned that her daughter said that it was mean, right? And she was asking of Steve Harvey, what else or how else could she handle it? Right. So, like, what were your first thoughts in seeing, just the initial reaction and his response to it as well?
Well, my initial reaction, my daughter would do that. She would like, Mom. But it kind of depends on the mood and how you approach the person.
Right.
And I don't feel like Steve, I think you mentioned Steve didn't really answer the question, but my take on it was, what was Steve supposed to say?
Okay.
What was he supposed to say at that time? So, because a tall man in society is going to be viewed differently than a tall woman. So the approach and the statement and the comments are going to be totally different.
Yeah. So my initial reaction was, I felt that, between what she asked and then how Steve Harvey responded, I felt like there was not enough of a definition of what she was trying to say. I feel like my tall sister maybe just needed a moment to kind of gather the full scope of what she was trying to explain. Yeah, you want to show, whatever. So I think, we wanted to come here and like support her because I feel like she was trying to make a valid point that we brought up before about how we're always asked these questions and just getting the perspective. Now, to your point, asking a tall man is a whole different thing. A whole different thing. So I agree. I don't think he could have given an answer that really would have like
in his defense. It's like he wouldn't understand what the life of a tall woman is.
Exactly. And the other part is she continued to say that she joins a group called Tall Society around the world, basically, because they go to Europe and the US and whatnot. And again, I feel like an opportunity was missed because it's such an amazing group, and I feel like there wasn't enough information shared about it, and so Steve didn't know how to respond.
Right.
So I feel like if we kind of give a little bit more validity to what that group is about, it would kind of shed new light for everyone who watched that clip and commented. There were a lot of comments on that one.
It should have been Ask Steve or Ask Sioux. Because Steve didn't know. No offense.
And thank you, Steve, for being there. And to Steve's response, he was more saying, well, people really don't even think about you that much or think about any of us that much or whatnot. And to some degree, there's some truth there. Maybe we think more about what people think. So I see where he was going with that. But let's speak about Tall Society for a minute, because that was where the disconnect happened. He was asking, why do y'all meet? And the answer never came through. And I wanted to speak on behalf of the founder, Bree, at least if I could say this, because I attended one of the get-togethers back in 2019, right before COVID kind of started getting crazy. And it was amazing. It was a room full of these tall, beautiful women, all kind of in concert with what life has been for us, celebrating it. Also having vendors, other tall women vendors, who were supplying clothes and shoes and all kinds of stuff for us. So it became a place to shop, to engage with each other, to celebrate each other apart, away from the basketball court, which is pretty much the only other place
at a certain age you're not gonna be there anyway.
Yeah, and then we were like dressed up nicely. There was music, we were dancing, there were eats. It was just a lovely afternoon, you know.
But I think the point of it was people didn't understand why.
Right.
And any like-minded group, that is just the same thing.
Exactly.
Somebody, it could be a book club, it could be a sporting event that you, or different types of groups that gather. So it shouldn't be because the word tall is associated with it doesn't mean it's like a support group or whatever. It's just like-minded group that do the same, that have the same issues or concerns in life.
Yeah, and enjoying each other's company. So it wasn't about like not having like it not being valid, because it kind of came across like that, especially some comments.
Right.
People were like, well, why get together? Why you do this, whatever. And it's, again, you just wanting to share in each other's company and understanding each other's
And I don't have to answer that either, though. I don't have to explain to you why I'm in a group.
Right. But it really was really amazing. I met women from like all different parts of the U.S. and just getting to share our stories and just experiences, and like, you know, we talked about when we were younger and how we dealt with it, and some people said that they got inspiration from some women they met there, and like all kinds of amazing things.
It's a lot of things that people aren't, I mean, just even if you're raising teens and things like that, or raising young women, or even just in general, like I talked to several tall women that's like, how do you find, and I'm looking like, that's never been a problem for me, but I can understand if you don't know, you know, so I can appreciate a group of women that gather and provide, and we're able to support each other in a venture that's helpful to us.
Exactly. And if you think about it, for average height women, there is a plethora of options everywhere you look, you know? So for us, having our own of the tall women, finding the need, finding the niches and that have not been filled yet, and providing it, and then getting together to support each other. I mean, come on, like
just
what's
like
not
men have like big and tall, and you're okay with that. And then you have plus size, and you have petite.
Exactly.
So this is a different sector that's unfulfilled.
Yes.
No, not as much.
You know, it's really growing now. We've seen, and we all see on social media, more voices are becoming known in the tall community, and in celebration of, in filling the gaps, in providing products, in everything. And I think it's an amazing thing. So to Steve, if you happen to see this,
we have more
we just wanted to give you a little bit more feedback on the question you asked about why do y'all get together. We just wanted to give you a little more feedback on that, and you know, and just to share that and to support the Tall Society. And there are many others out there who are doing things that we'd love to also support and shout y'all out, because it's building that community, and we want to be a part of that here in High Dreams, right? That's right. So we're going to do upwards.
Starting it.
Yes, so awesome. So hope you continue to tune in. And so, you want to close out with first up?
Don't ask stupid questions. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, we can kind of address when someone the same question she asked. You know, she asked, well, how am I supposed to respond? That'll be another series.
Yeah. And actually, maybe y'all could drop some notes in the comments.
How do you respond? Do you? Because some people don't care. I mean, and I think I mentioned to you before. It depends on how I'm approached. If you approach me like, oh my God, then I'm kind of gonna be like, oh my God, I can tell you. But then, you know, I'm sorry.
No, you mentioned something. We were had a personal conversation, and you were saying how it was like people sometimes when they say it like that, they make it seem like you're
some freak of nature.
There you go. Okay. So that's
where you get a defensive answer, because some people will come up to me like yesterday. I was in the store and this lady was like, girl, can I just have some of your height? I wish I was your height. And I was like, until you go shopping, and then we both laugh.
Okay.
You know, but it depends on how you approach it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so sometimes when someone's defensive, it may be the way that you approached them about this situation.
So I think our personal response to our tall sister
Right.
would be that, and speaking to how you answered it, that perhaps it's received in that way,
yeah.
and that's why some people respond that way. And so I think if
And
you
it's
look
not
at
that
some
you
of our,
it's not that you are like self-conscious either.
Right.
It's not that. Sometimes you are approaching me in a way that's making me feel awkward, and so I'm gonna respond and let's back on.
how about this? I just thought of this. How about when someone responds that way, it's because that's how they heard it.
Exactly.
So
we're
we're receiving a response based on how it was received.
That's true,
Yeah.
because it's not, because I can assure you, I don't respond. I've done the or you whatever also, but I've also been like joking, and I've told you before there have been situations where I'm like, let me get this off the top shelf for you or what have you. So it's not that don't hide.
Right.
I'm not ashamed. I am who I am. I am built wonderfully and fearfully made. So definitely it's in the approach sometimes or how it's received. It could be either.
So I think in giving that side of it, if we're speaking to the people who are asking or commenting, that's what we'd say. Just kind of think of how you would like it to be received and deliver it that way. And I think, I think it'll be all good because we love our hype. We love to, celebrate it. So I don't think it's shunning the question. It's just how it's broached. How it's said.
The delivery is everything.
Yeah. So that's our answer to you, our tall sister. And Steve, we hope you kind of heard a little bit of what we were saying. And if you have something to say about it and you'd like to chime in, please do. But
we welcome all comments.
Yes. All right. And so we will continue to be here for you and with you to celebrate our tall community.
Absolutely.
All right. Till next time, check us out on YouTube, of course, right here. Our Instagram. Right? Hype Dreams. And our email.
Talk, 2, us at hypedreams.com. Looking forward to hearing from you.
All right, we'll see you at one of those spots. Bye. Till next time. All right, let's give him a pose. All right.